We are in our tomato hothouse today. I'll show you a little bit what's going on and tell you a little bit about the challenges we're facing. So everyone loves tomatoes, and that doesn't just stay true with humans. Seems like every insect, every caterpillar, every worm likes it too. So I can show you a little bit about what the damage looks like for some of those pests. So you can, in your home garden, you can see if you see some similar things and know what it is. And here you can look down, we got multiple different varieties. That's why some are taller and some are shorter. The shorter ones are more of a bigger tomato, so they put more energy into their fruit than the foliage. But the shorter ones here, part of the reason why they're even a lot shorter is because they got hit with hornworms. And it seems like the hornworms, each tomato variety seems to get off a little bit different smell, I think, and they seem to be attracted to some more than others. And if we get close here, we can see how these just kind of got stripped. There's a period here where they got stripped by hornworms. Now we got new growth coming off here that hopefully we'll still get some tomatoes towards the end of the season out of that part of the plant, but they got hit pretty hard. So you have hornworms. If you ever see a plant that gets stripped, usually the leaves, everything will be gone. There'll just be a bare stem, and a lot of times they'll go for the fruit too. Didn't look like they got that one. But a lot of times they'll eat a good portion of the fruit. And the hornworms, you can tell because they'll be like big pellets, fecal pellets, all over the place. So that's where you'll know that there's a hornworm on that plant. And another worm, we'll go down here. I've noticed this in the last week, and we usually have problems. It's been a little bit later this year than some years, and so I thought maybe we were gonna escape this worm, but I have seen in the last week it's shown up. And we try, you can combat them with BT, which is a organic spray for worms, but we've been trying to stay away from any sprays. So I'm going to go through and prune, and as I prune I'll just look for them and kind of pick them off as we go. And they tend to be, like I said, it seems like they're attracted to different varieties, and it seems like they're down on, this is our chocolate sprinkles, which is a cherry tomato. It seems like they're going after this more. And so here you can tell a little bit. This one's called the tomato fruit worm. So here, the little one, I picked some off, so there may not be one in every spot, but they kind of start on the leaves and they start feeding, and they slowly move up from the leaves, and then they'll start tunneling into the tomatoes. That's why they call it tomato fruit worm.
Can I pick this one?
Sure, you can pick that one. Boy, this is crazy. I don't see any. Here's a little one. Here's a little guy. So this one just started out. It must have hatched right in this area, and it ate a little bit of leaf in here. You see it's starting to move up. It's really small. So I'll just kind of fling that off. But once they get bigger, they'll eat a lot faster. Like this one's a little bit bigger. See these? They're all over on this one. See, these are a little bit later stage, but they'll start to get that darker color. And I think they actually go into the tomato, and that's where they then pupate. And I don't know if they drop into the soil, these ones, or if they hatch into a moth, then I'm not sure exactly. But yeah, they'll make a mess of the tomatoes. So I try to get them at their small stage like this. See, they're here too. And they tend to lay eggs in clusters, so you'll see multiples in the same area. And you'll have a big section of tomatoes that are fine, and then all of a sudden you'll have a plant that's just coated in them. So there's a bigger one there. So I'll just kind of go through and check these. See, this one's going after this. Dropped. I got the worm there. But this one, see this one was already going after that cherry at a really early stage. So that's kind of the pest. And I know a lot of people have problems with aphids and whiteflies on tomatoes. We don't. I think part of that is we don't start in a greenhouse. Where in a greenhouse, if you start them, you have more problems early in the season. But we don't heat this hoop house. We plant them a little bit later. That gets us past some of the pests. But our biggest ones are hornworms and tomato fruit worms. So yeah, I think that's about it for now. I'm trying to think if there's any Cutworms can be an issue too. Last year we had a terrible time with cutworms, and they actually come from the soil. So they were they were burrowing in the soil during the day, where you can't see them, and then at night they'd be crawling up the plant, and they'd just be eating, coming. Some of them in the morning would still be in the tomatoes. If you came out, you could pick them off. But yeah, they'll crawl up and they'll go straight for the tomatoes and burrow in them. But we haven't seen any of those this year, which is good. So, if you have any questions, any problems with your tomatoes you're experiencing, we can see if we can help. But if you like these videos, hit like, subscribe if you want to have our videos come up on your feed and have more of a chance of seeing them. So, until next time, eat well, live well.
Yeah, here's one.